welcome to Where's the Action? I'm your host, Ross Benjamin. I will be previewing tonight's NHL game between the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Washington Capitals. A game that takes place at the Verizon Center in Washington, D.C., with the opening face-off 7:05 p.m. Eastern Time. This game will be televised by the NHL Network. According to NHL betting odds, the Pittsburgh Penguins are a minus 130 money line road favorite, and the posted total in this game is 5.5. Pittsburgh has defeated Washington in their last 6 meetings, and these teams have seen 5 of their last 6 games played in Washington all stay under the total. Now, the Pittsburgh Penguins are atop the Metropolitan Division with a comfortable 14-point lead, and they're also second overall in the Eastern Conference, just 1 point behind the Boston Bruins. The Washington Capitals are currently 5th in the Metropolitan Division, 10th overall in the Eastern Conference, although they just trail the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Detroit Red Wings by 1 point for the 8th and final playoff position in the East. Well, the Pittsburgh Penguins, as I just alluded to, are now 1 point behind the Boston Bruins, despite the fact they've been on top of the Eastern Conference standings for the majority of the season. After Boston's 5-2 win at Florida yesterday, Boston catapulted themselves atop the Eastern Conference. Now, Pittsburgh has one advantage over Boston entering tonight, as they have one game in hand, and they can make that up this evening with a win and regain the lead. In addition, the Penguins will play 12 of their last 19 games on home ice. The Pittsburgh Penguins, when you evaluate their season, it's been a very good one. There's a lot of contributing factors that have led to this superb year. First of all, you have the NHL leading scorer, Sidney Crosby, and a host and plethora of offensively skilled players, in addition to the stellar goaltending this season of Marc-Andre Fleury and an excellent coaching staff led by the head man, Dan Bielsma. However, what oftentimes gets overlooked for the Penguins is the fact their special teams play has just been out of this world. As a matter of fact, the Penguins are number 1 on the power play in the NHL, converting on over 25% of their opportunities, and they're also number 1 in their penalty killing, as they've killed off over 87% of power plays against them. Now, the Washington Capitals enter tonight 17 games left in the regular season. They might as well consider themselves in playoff mode the rest of the way, and hopefully for the Capitals' sake, that's just a prelude to a potential postseason berth at the end of the regular season. The Capitals were able to snap a 3-game losing streak on Saturday at home versus Phoenix 3-2. The game marked the debut of newly acquired Washington Capitals goaltender Jaroslav Halak, who came over from a trade, actually went from St. Louis to Buffalo and from Buffalo to Washington, all within a few-day period of time just prior to the trade deadline. Halak was magnificent in his debut as he stopped 31 of 33 Phoenix shots on goal. Including his starts with St. Louis, Halak is now 25-13 versus the money line this season, with an excellent 2.00 goals against average. As far as my selection goes in this game, I do realize Washington has had not a very good recent past versus the Pittsburgh Penguins, to say the least. However, they may be catching the Penguins at the right time. This will be Pittsburgh's 5th consecutive road game over the last 10 days, and it's not like they've been lights out since the Olympic break and play resumed. The Washington Capitals, on the other hand, are in a very urgent mode, and they'll be playing with a ton of desperation. They have one of the more enthusiastic home crowds in all the NHL. I like the Washington Capitals tonight as a home underdog, plus 110 over the Pittsburgh Penguins. My name is Ross Benjamin. You've been watching Where's the Action? I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining me. Be sure to go to sbrforum.com to read all my articles, as well as going to my personal website, rbwins.com, where my NBA premium selections are 12-1 in the last 13, and my combination of NBA and college basketball premium plays 23-11 over my last 34. I'd like to wish each and every one of you all the best in the upcoming week.